it was at that point that my mom knew that there was nothing that she could ever do to stop me or to take out what I had. And then she was like, okay, I'm done with you. Get out of my house and get out of my life. I have 7 siblings.
Okay, so were
So
they
we are
all
a
in this
huge
house?
family.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had
So
to leave all of them so I could follow Jesus.
you see, and this is what I'm saying. So, guys, imagine 7 people, blood, biological people that you
Mhm.
have to leave, people that you've grown up with. You were 17, sis, so this is a lot of years. Do you
And
understand? People,
people who loved me. Like my family, we were very close together. My siblings are like the best gift that God's given me. We've reconnected now. I could never live
praise God.
without my siblings. I'm serious.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely, and that's the beauty of God. So you're in your uncle's house now,
yeah.
and you are, like you said, you're in the house, you're not really having any personal relationships, but at least you had a roof over your head. Let's
Hmm.
speak about your experience. How was your relationship with God then? Did you go to a new church? You know, we want to get to the encounter, the angelic encounter. So let's talk about that and then lead us up to that
All
experience.
right. So I am living in my uncle's house now, literally minding my business because nobody else is minding my business anyway. So, but I am going to church. I was still going to the same church. This end of year, a church usually organizes a Thanksgiving service on at the end of the year, and where we'll all come together and everybody will bring a Thanksgiving offering, and then
Mm,
it would be kind of like a celebration Thanksgiving Sunday where everybody is bringing whatever they have to say thank you, God. And but I didn't have anything. So it's like seriously, and I was not happy. I was sad. I had gotten to that point where I was just like, God, change my circumstances. I was trusting God that that God would provide miraculously, and then things will be good. So let me say this before I actually land on the encounter. So when I first became a child of God, I had this thing that now that I'm a child of God and I've surrendered everything to follow Jesus, Jesus was gonna just answer my prayers like that. That God was gonna just show my family that He's bigger than all of them and that I don't need them, and that He was just gonna open the heavens and financial blessings were gonna fall and open doors were just gonna be opening before me, and my
mhm.
family was gonna see that Jesus is the best. But no, that's not what happened.
Talk us through, sis. Talk us through. What happened? What happened?
So So now I am going through these difficulties, and every day I'm trusting God. And God, do something. God, you gotta change my circumstances. Open,
Yeah.
help me find like a better job, or send somebody to come and pay my fees and college.
Yeah.
Send somebody, and it wasn't happening. And so but I was still holding on and trusting God that things were gonna happen. And then with everything that God was showing me and stuff, I knew that it was gonna be okay. But I was so sad and so depressed because I was like, God, I'm sick. I'm sick of being poor. I am
Yeah.
sick of living in lack,
Yeah.
because around this time it's been a couple of years that I had been I've been kicked out of my family, and I'm struggling all by myself. And I have been trusting God for a little while. I'm like, God, I have been waiting and trusting for a little while, and nothing is happening. So, but I went to church that day, and I had 200 CFA francs, which is equivalent to like 50 cents. 50 cents. It's
Wow.
actually less than 50 cents Canadian dollars,
Mm.
US cents. So it's like I'm a 50 Canadian cents. So way, like half of a dollar. So I went to church and I put it in an envelope because it's coins, right? It wasn't paper. So I didn't have enough to put it in paper. Paper in an envelope, right? I
In an
need to turn it
envelope.
into
Yeah.
paper so I can put it in an envelope. So I hold this envelope with this 50 cents in it. Then I went to the front. Everybody's dancing and excited. I am depressingly just walking, like quickly drop it in there and
Drop
go
your
back and
money
sit
and
on
go.
my seat.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't wait for the service to end so I could go home and cry. So I got home back to my uncle's house, and everybody, Nobody was at home at that time.
Mm.
I think it
Mhm.
was just kind of like a divine intervention at that time. It was a hot Sunday afternoon, and all my cousins were out. My uncle was not there, his wife was not there, and the whole compound was a big house, fenced house.
Wow.
And then I dropped my bag very quickly, went and sat on my uncle's couch. I couldn't wait to just bust out and just cry to the top of
Yeah.
my voice. And that's exactly what I did. I went in there and I sat on the couch in my uncle's house, and I was like, God, like seriously, right now, I am done. I am done suffering. Like I was just like, God, this is it. I have been waiting, and I am done suffering and struggling to meet the very, very basic needs that a human being lives for the body and the
Yeah.
soul to stay together. I'm like, God, I am breaking right now, and I am done. I am crying so hard. I am just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my
Sis,
God. I
sis, let
can't
me
wait.
let me stop you there for 1 second before you get into it. I just
Okay.
want to say thank you to everyone that's come in. God bless you all. God bless you. Welcome. Has anybody ever felt like our dear sister Yvette? Has anybody ever had that feeling of let me get out of this environment because I just want to break down and cry? I'm at the end of myself. God, what is the answer? Has
Mhm.
anybody ever felt like that? Because I certainly have. When you just say, you know what, get me out of this environment, everybody around you is laughing, joking, and you don't have anything much to give.
Mhm.
They're dancing, you're upset because you also want to be included, you also want to give. Most importantly, you want to give to your father. You're saying, God,
Yeah.
where is the money? What's going on? I'm in lack. What is this? I need an answer, God. And the only thing you can do is just cry.
Yes.
There's no more talking at this point. It's not even like God, the tears are what is really your prayers at that time. You
Mhm.
can't even speak, sis. So yeah,
Mhm.
continue, sis. So you're crying. You're crying out to God. What's going on? What's happening next?
So I am crying so hard, and then I cried myself into a deep sleep. So I cried so hard that and then I just fell into a deep sleep on the couch in my uncle's house. Then as soon as I fall into this deep sleep, I find myself somewhere in a jungle where there's just trees and nobody, no road, no way out. And I'm literally stuck at a certain point where I am so stuck. I couldn't find my way. But then I walk a little bit to then I saw something that looked like a road, like a way out. Then I walk close to that, and then the road disappears. And then I can't get myself out of that point anymore. It's so hard to describe this experience. But I'm standing there and I couldn't even move my body. I couldn't move my arms. I couldn't move my legs. And I'm just standing there and I'm like, oh my God, I am so stuck right now. And I opened my mouth and I yelled and I was like, I just cried. I cried again. Like, I was
Mm.
like, I am
Mm.
stuck. Somebody needs to stop me right here. And I'm just crying again. And then out of a sudden, somebody appears. And this is the angel that appears out of a sudden. And then out of a sudden, as soon as he appears there, and then my arms loose, my legs loose, and then I'm able to move my body. And
Mm.
then he said to me, that is the way. Go right and then turn left. And then I went, and then he's coming with me. And then he comes with me, and then he said, okay, keep going straight, keep going, and don't go to the left and don't go to the right. Just keep following this path that I've shown you and keep going and you'll find your way. I said, okay, thank you. So I just kept going, follow the instructions, and I kept going, kept going, kept going. It was like a tiny little path in a jungle where
Mm.
the road was this big. And I was just going and I followed that instruction and I keep going, keep going. It was a long walk. Then out of a sudden, I find myself at the end of that walk path where there is a big, large, tarred road that was like a very broad road now that I was like, okay, this looks now like a city road, like a motorized road. Like this
Yes.
is, so I find like, okay, I finally came out of the jungle and I'm here right now. Then
Mm.
the angel appeared to me again right there and he said to me, now turn right. And keep going straight and don't go to the left and don't go to the right. I said, okay. He said that to me, and then he disappeared again. Then I am going down, and then towards at a certain point down that road, then I began to see, I suddenly began to see every single thing that I had asked God for. Every single thing that I had wanted in life, every single thing that I had prayed for, right there in front of me. And then the angel appears again. And then he said to me, and then it so happened that with everything that I heard at that time, I also had a little dog, beautiful, beautiful dog that I loved so much. And then he said to me, he looked at me and he said, "That's your dog. Do you like it?" I said, "I love it." And then he said to me, "What would you do for that dog? To prove to me, like, because you like that, what would you do to prove that you like it?" He said, "I would wash the dog, I would feed the dog, I would take it out for a walk, I would do all of those beautiful things to make sure that it is alive, it's healthy, and that it is, it's well taken care of."
Yes.
And then the angel said to me, "Now I want you to demonstrate it." So I went now and I carried this my little dog and I start by washing it. And then this dog is just crying. And I just keep washing it. Then it's crying and screaming and trying to fight me while I'm trying to wash it and stuff like that. So once I finish washing the dog, and then the angel said to me, he's watching, the angel's watching me do all of these things. And then he said to me, "Yvette, I noticed that when you were washing that dog, the dog was crying and resisting, but you didn't stop. Why?" And I said, "The dog doesn't get it. It doesn't understand. It doesn't understand that I am showing him love. It doesn't understand that I'm trying to take care of him and clean him, and so that he can be healthy and strong. I am loving this dog, but this dog is not understanding." And then the angel looked at me and said, "That's exactly the way that God is doing to you. God is loving you in a way that you are not understanding. It's not because God is not hearing your prayer. It's not because God has abandoned you. It's not because all of this while that you've been kicked away, or that nobody's caring for you and you've been praying and you haven't seen anything, doesn't mean that God is not hearing or that God is not answering. God is loving you in a way that you're not understanding. And when the time comes, just like you have seen that everything that you've been praying for, God is just providing, and you are seeing it right now. Every single thing that you have been praying and you have been asking God for, it will come to pass, but it is a process. And during this process, God is taking care of you and preparing you so that by the time you get to the things that you have desired and you have asked Him, that you will be able to appreciate them and you'll be able to fully understand God's love. Right now, you don't understand that God is seeing every tear that you've been shedding. God is seeing every storm that you've gone through.
Wow.
God has seen every pain that you've gone through. Every time you've gone to bed at night crying, every time that you've gone hungry, every time that you've been in lack, every struggle that you've struggled, God is seeing it. God has heard it. God has heard every hard cry, every tear you've shed. But it seems like He is not, because you haven't seen the physical manifestation of it, because God is working everything out for the manifestation of it at the right time. So I want you to know that God loves you, but He's expressing it in a way that you're not understanding at this time. But you will understand that at a later date. Once He said that to me, I'm looking at Him and He disappears. And then I snap out of my deep sleep in that hot afternoon in my uncle's house.
Wow.